I recently learned that the only time a woman is at her lowest is when she gives everything to the wrong one. And the only time a man is at his lowest is when he gives nothing to the right one. Damn.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about women who give men control over their lives, over their finances, over their careers. And you do so with the intention on making them feel like, quote, the man, because you see potential in them. And you think that it's going to help them feel better about themselves. And we have to get into what that actually ends up doing in the long run, how that does not benefit you.
What turned you so cold? Because it seems like now you're like, I don't care. If somebody's in my life, I'm gonna turn on. What made you cold?
I'm not cold. I'm focused on me. That's it. I think I have decentered men, I have decentered relationships, and what the world teaches you your role is as a woman. Mm-hmm. I'm just here to have fun, to experience the best that life has to offer, and I will share it with who I want to, not because I feel like I need to be with. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Also, too, like, what guy can handle this?
You think was that a part of it? Because he was your husband. You guys have done so much together, industry-wise, in this. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah, it seems like it every time. It looks. Yeah, but also too, every time
it looks.
Yeah, but also too how you used to talk about him. Like, I know you talked about like y'all working on the label together, and like he helped produce some of your songs, correct? Right? So it seemed like you guys
sometimes as a wife, you just want to say things to help encourage things to go in a certain direction.
I understand.
And affirm and what's the word? Motivate. Mm-hmm. Gently prod. But that doesn't always mean that it's connecting.
Wow. I'm reading.
First of all, let's take a moment of silence for how absolutely stunningly beautiful Money Long is. Like, to me, she looks like she could be like Yolanda Adams' daughter or sister or something. For y'all who know who Yolanda Adams is, if you know, you know. But she is so beautiful to me, and her vibe that she gives off in all her interviews is so peaceful and calm, and to me she sounds like she has woken up to the games. You never really know what people really think and how they really feel and what's going on behind closed doors, but just based on the few interviews that I've heard her speak of these things, she just seems awake. And I love that for her. Now, I cannot stand DJ Envy, by the way. Oh, my God. He gets on my last nerves. If I had to think of one person from the Breakfast Club that irritates the entire fuck out of me, it's a toss-up between him and when that girl was on there. I can't think of her name right now because that's how much she annoyed me. Y'all know him. Angela Yee. Yeah. Anyways, that's off topic. Yeah, so when I saw this video, I took some screenshots of the comments and I want to share those with y'all. Now, in multiple past videos, I have talked about how married women lie and prop their husbands up and pretend that their husbands are bigger and better than what they really are. And that's why I say most of the time I don't believe married women when they say they're happily married and their husband is a protector and a provider and he treats me like a queen and I get princess treatment. Because usually when these women file for divorce, they tell the truth about all the credit that the man took for them and all the ways that they built him and propped him up and so on and so forth. And that's important to point out because I think that will help some of them, who still want to be married to make a better informed decision and have an idea of what marriage is most likely going to end up being about for you, just like it's been for the vast majority of women before you. Now, here are some of the comments. She propped him up, made him feel included, and he still didn't get it. I respect her for choosing herself. She is awakened. When a woman is awake, it's scary to people. What she's saying is so true. I felt this interview so hard. Me too. I broke up with my man last week because I wanted to focus on me. Someone else said, felt it truly. I don't think God is going to tell you who your spouse is when it's people being human trafficked. Thank you. You said a lot with so little. God, I love us. She literally said it. I'd say good things to gently prod him into the correct direction. Most women talk good on the man that they're with. The truth doesn't come out until after they're done, because they want the man to look good while they're with them. This is facts. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly why I shared these comments, because some women get it. The wife always makes the husband look good in other people's eyes, but it don't be the case most times. So true. When they get the credit, it's infuriating. I immediately thought about Melody and Martell Halt on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Mel definitely made Martell look good publicly. I never watched that show. Yep, we be fools. I know from experience. And when you brag on them thinking that's your reality, somehow all their dirty laundry airs. That image is snatched fast. That's always what happens. Oh my God. The moment you start bragging on that man, it's like a switch is flipped. It's so crazy. We are taught to always make them look good as the wives, but we know their true characters. Yep, we be lying for them while dying inside to make them look good. And then Blair said, and it rarely goes in reverse, which is so true. The men almost never do this for the wives. But then many women leave the lie out there for other women to be chasing the lie. And men are able to hide behind that lie to perpetuate fairy tales and false stereotypes. That's true as well. You do have some women who will warn the new woman. But a lot of women just move on with their life because they're like, look, he out of my life. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's her problem. She'll figure it out. That's how it looks, in quotes, says a lot. That's the same thing I said. I like that comment. Another way that we save egos, I caught that too. Yeah, because she said that's how it looks. And that's why I did a double duplicate on that. Because you could see it in her eyes. Did the same thing when I was married. We lied to make our husbands look good. We often see the potential in them that they won't fulfill. Sigh. It's because we are seeing our own potential reflected in them. We look at them and think he would be amazing if he did X, Y, and Z. If we put that energy into ourselves, we would be the amazing ones. As an adult, I don't believe in potential. I only accept reality. And I'm so glad that more and more women are starting to see the reality of this. The potential means nothing. You're seeing your own potential reflected in him, like she said in the comment. I totally agree. We pour our life force into them, and they start to become vibrant while sucking the life out of us at the same time. Oh my God, yes. You have all these talents and experiences. Use them, but they never do. Now you done wasted time. Tired of carrying someone? And then Jen said, when she said sometimes as a wife you say things, I know exactly what she's talking about. And I do too, because I watch a lot of women do that. I felt that, yeah, that's how it looks. I carried a man for years, lied to people to make things look like he was amazing. Somebody said, woo, flashbacks. Exactly. Another woman said, I can write a book. This is what I'm talking about. I'm so glad that these women are being honest. This is the only way y'all are going to know what's really going on with a lot of these husbands. These wives are coming out and telling the truth. Now, when I was listening to this interview, it made me... Hold on one second, y'all. When I was listening to this interview, it made me think of Mary J. Blige. And this is not the exact interview that I had in mind. I can't find the other one, but there was another one when she said she gave her ex-husband control of the money in order to make him feel like, you know, he was doing something and make him feel like the man, like he was in control. But he turned around and used all that money and all that fame and, you know, being her manager and all that to impress other women, which he inevitably ended up cheating on her for. And you know what I'm saying? I don't remember who left who, but I think she left him, but I'm not sure. I think it was because he was cheating on her with her money. He was using her money to impress other women. He was just a fucking manager. He was not a star. He's not attractive. There's nothing about this man. Like, what did she see in him? I have no idea. But anyway, I'm going to play this clip because I was able to find something similar to what I was looking for initially.
You had to go on tour to pay alimony to your ex-husband. I don't know if the number's correct. I saw it was like $30,000 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
What would you have done differently when you first got married? in terms of shielding your assets?
I would have never let a person have that much power over my money, my life, over anything ever again. I'm in control of my business. I'm in control of my life. It's mandatory that I learn more about finance business, so I don't ever have to be robbed again by, maybe somebody you think you can trust. It's a lack of education, and it also was just trusting people to help you when you don't know, and you hope that they're going to help you and not steal from you and lie to you and just try to take control over your life. So, yeah, exactly. And a lot of times what happened to me, they rob you.
Now, I love me some Mary J. I grew up to her. And as much as I admire her strength, because she's been through so much, and as much as I admire the fact that she's still relevant, she's still in the business, she's still successful and doing well, it seems like, I have to put her in the hopeless romantic category. The video I was talking about like maybe a week or so ago, how women who consider themselves to be hopeless romantics will go to their graves heartbroken because they are always open to the possibility of finding the one and finding love, and they keep getting cheated on, they keep getting their hearts broken, and they keep getting taken advantage of because they are so desperate for love. As much as I love her, I put her in that category. Now, I do think she's probably learned from a lot of her mistakes, and hopefully she goes into her next relationship, if she even decides to date again, with her eyes wide open. Maybe she might just, go off into her older age and just be single and celibate. I don't know, but I wish her the best. But there is no way in hell I could ever see myself paying my cheating ain't shit ex-husband no motherfucking alimony. I literally probably would have had that man offed. I'm not even joking. Like, y'all, oh my God, I'm just talking shit, but for TikTok, for YouTube purposes. But yeah, like, there's no way. Absolutely not. Because I can't even imagine, and all that money is going towards whatever new woman that he's looking for. Like, or that he's dating or whatever. Oh my God, something about that just doesn't sit well with me. But that's what happens when you're a hopeless romantic. That's what happens when you trust men. That is what happens when you give other people, especially some dusty man, control of your life and your finances. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody under any circumstances. When you're lazy, and this is what I talk about when I say you're lazy, giving other people control over your health, over your finances, over your mortgage, over whatever shit you got on that you claim is important to you. In my personal opinion, if it's that important to you, you wouldn't trust it in the hands of anybody else. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just my own personal opinion. Some things you just need to handle yourself. Finances is at the top of that list, along with your health and whatever else you got going on. There is just no way. But, I hope you guys learned something from one of these videos, because these men are always going to look out for themselves. And the more delusional you are about men and their nature, and you don't really understand male nature, and the more of, if you consider yourself to be a hopeless romantic and you believe in trusting men and building them up and propping them up, you're just going to get got. Okay? That's typically how this ends with most women. It may not end in your 20s or 30s, but most likely for sure is going to hit you in middle age when you are considered, AKA, too old for your man, when he gets bored with you and eventually trades you in for a younger woman or whatever they decide to do. Okay? That's how it typically ends. Is it going to end like that 100% of the time for every woman? No. Is it going to end like that for the vast majority? Of course, because it's already happened to the vast majority of women, especially women over a certain age. Women got stories for days. Like, it's already happened to the vast majority of women. So I'm just going to say, be smart. Don't give a man access to your finances. I don't care if he's your husband or not, because this is typically going to be your outcome. Those men get the big head. They go out, they use your money or your joint account, go out, buy cars or buy motorcycles or whatever that, whatever they can think of to try to impress other women. I assure you, the goal is to impress their friends and then impress other women. That is the goal. And they're going to do so on your dime. And they're going to get so comfortable with your money and you propping them up and you making them look good to everybody else that it's going to just attract more women to them. Then they're going to get so big-headed that they're going to feel like they don't need you anymore. That's usually what happens. You have to let these men sink or swim. Let them get out there and get it on their own. Women have it bad where women are like, no, I can help him. We're a partnership. We can work together. We can build together. And this is going to be your outcome. I'm telling you. And then you won't have anybody to blame but yourself, because this is the outcome. You're giving men the cheat code. You're not allowing them to fall and get back up on their own and see what they're made of, because you're so afraid of being alone. You're so afraid that he's going to feel like you're not a down chick. You're not a ride or die. He's going to leave you. Let that motherfucker leave. Because here's the thing. When you help build him up, he's going to leave you anyway. And that's going to hurt more, because you would have given him everything, given up stuff and all of that. And you have way more to lose in that regard. So he's going to leave you anyway, 9 times out of 10. And if he don't leave you, he'll just be playing mind games with you, coming home when he wants to, cheating on you the whole time. The whole 9. Let these men sink or swim. Chances are he's probably not the one for you anyway. You just don't want to accept that, or you don't want to believe that, because you're basing how you feel about him on every decision you're making, without taking into account he probably don't feel that way about you. He probably sees you as a come up 9 times out of 10. Any man that's worth anything will probably already have his shit together by the time y'all meet, especially if he's of a certain age. Definitely if he's of a certain age. Or he's halfway there already without your help, or without the help of any other woman. The very fact that you have to prop them up and build them up, in my opinion, is a red flag in and of itself. And the women who don't want to believe that, I'm telling you with my whole chest, you're just going to find out the hard way. And that's just going to be your fate, and it just is what it is. So that's all I got to say about this. Please learn from these women. This is going to be your outcome. I don't know how many ways for me to say it. This is most likely, I would say 9.8 times out of 10. This is going to be your outcome. If you want to be a hopeless romantic and believe in building with a man and all that stuff, that's fine. Just don't come back complaining and crying like, why did this happen to me? Because we're going to tell you why it happened. This is why. You don't do this for men. It's just like not letting a toddler learn how to walk. Every time they fall, you're going over and you're like, oh my God. Oh. And you're holding them, trying to get them to walk. They're never going to learn on their own if you keep doing that. It's the same exact concept with men. They have to learn to sink or swim. And if they want to leave you because you wasn't there for them and you didn't help build them up, he wasn't the one for you, and he was going to leave your ass anyway. But that's all I got to say. Hit subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
All together, girls. 1, 2, 3. F these men on the internet.